Good afternoon, everybody. This is Charles Raether. I wanted to mention one new ruling that had come out recently by the USCIS in regards to minimum investment terms for EB-5 investors. And this is another great reason why I think with every year, the EB-5 program is becoming more attractive to investors. So what are we talking about? Earlier this year in 2024, the Immigration Service indicated that the minimum time frame for keeping money in an investment is really only 2 years. In the past, we thought it was 4 years, or we thought it was at least until the investor filed for their permanent green card, their 829. And with the waiting times and the way everything was going, that meant at least 4 years the money had to be in the project. Now the service has come out, this is in large part due to some court cases, and said, hey, look, it's okay if the money is only in the project for 2 years, even if the client hasn't filed for their permanent green card. Maybe they've only received their first green card. The money only has to stay in the project for 2 years. So that's a great outcome for investors because it's obviously shortening the time during which they have to have their money in the project. And related to this, there's also a secondary benefit that's come out of this, is the fact that there are no more reinvestments that are occurring, or there's no need for regional centers to reinvest investors' money. So what am I talking about reinvestment? In the past, when the investors had to keep their money in projects, say 4 or 5 years, projects generally don't need the money for that period of time. So the developers would return the funds to the regional centers, but the regional centers couldn't return the money to the investors because, according to the rules back then, you couldn't return the money to the investors until at least they filed for their permanent green card. And so the regional centers had to find alternative projects in which to put the money, which was obviously against the interests of, not necessarily against the interest, but certainly was not in the interest of the investors, because here you've got a regional center who's not an investment advisor, replacing or putting money, reallocating money into different projects. And the projects weren't even, known by the investors at the start. So when they started the EB-5 project, they were putting their money in project A, but after 2 or 3 years, it was turning out the money was being put in project B, C, or D. And they did not know or even have a say in what projects the money was being reallocated to. So as a result of this new ruling, it's also going to help investors with this regard, because if the money only has to stay in the project for 2 years, there's really no need whatsoever for regional centers to reinvest or reallocate or redeploy, as they say in the EB-5 world, redeploy the funds to another project, which the investor never even gave their consent. So again, 2 big wins for investors in the EB-5 world. If you're looking at the program, have some more questions, or would like a personalized consultation, please feel free to reach out to us so we can help you in your transition to the U.S.